back to my channel, 1 ounce at a time. We're starting our blending series. This one is going to see what happens when you marry two different whiskeys together, and does it improve the taste? Does it make it worse? Whatever the case may be, but we're going to start with one I'm calling the Velvet Gobbler. This one comes from a blend of new Riff's red turkey wheat and Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, both about the same proof point. This one's 101. This one is 100 proof, so not much difference, but let's see what happens when we marry a wheat whiskey with Kentucky Spirit. And like I said, it's called the Velvet Gobbler. We're going to start off with this one, and I have my scale in front of me. I'm going to measure this out. Going to marry it together, and then I'll come back and taste it and review it. But first thing we got to do is blend it. So this blend is going to be a 60-40 blend. That's going to be 60% red turkey wheat and 40% Kentucky Spirit. So we're looking at 1.2 ounces here and about 0.8 ounces here for a 2 ounce sample. So we're going to go ahead and start with the red turkey wheat and blend this one in, pour this one into the glass. So we'll see what this one turns out to be. So we're looking at 1.2 ounces. Wanted to measure this already in an ounce. Okay. Very carefully. And a little bit of spillage on from the pour. Yep, I went over. So I'm at 1.62. So we're going to go ahead and pour a little bit back out of this, back in the bottle. Don't worry, my glass is clean. Made sure of that. Still at 1.48. Pour a little bit more. Dang. I overshot this one by a lot. Sorry about that, guys. No, this isn't the most fun part, but hopefully we have some good whiskey at the end of it. So 1.23, just a splash out of this. Man, still at 1.23. So I can always pour more back in it. All right, here we go. 1.16. There we go, 1.2 exactly. A lot more difficult than it looks like, especially if you don't have a scale. Those point ounces kind of make it a little bit harder to deal with. I know this blend may not be something that everybody can create if they don't have a scale at home or whatever the case may be. I also do river tables and stuff like that, so I have the scale, but 1.2 already, and now we're going to get up to 2 ounces for the 0.8. Just a splash. Okay, we're at 2 ounces. So, like I said, this is a 60-40 blend, so 1.2 ounces, 0.8 ounces here. So, got that blended together. Gonna mix this up. Give it a good mix. And we will get this married. So there's the blend right there. I'll come back after a couple hours, after it's got a little bit time to marry. But I'm going to go ahead and taste this and review it. And hopefully it's good. Hopefully it improves both of these bottles. But both of them are really, really good bottles. So hopefully it doesn't ruin both of those bottles. Once again, 60-40 blend. And we're looking at a 2-ounce sample here. So gives us a chance to taste it and see what it actually does. Anyway, be back shortly, and we'll see y'all in a little bit.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
Welcome back. We've let this marry for a little bit, a little over an hour. I'm going to go ahead and try it. Once again, this one is the Velvet Gobbler. It's 60% bred turkey wheat from New Riff and 40% Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit. So let's see if it's any good. Hopefully it is. Hopefully I didn't just waste my whiskey. So this is part of my blender series, so I'll be posting the full recipe for this and how to blend it on my Patreon page, so make sure you check that out. That's going to give the exact breakdown in milliliters and ounces and how to marry it and everything else like that. So the rye and the Kentucky Spirit, the high rye mash bill coming through on the nose. There is a hint of fruitiness coming in from the wheat. It smells really, really good. Like I said, it's about 100 proof because this one's 100 proof, this one's 101, so okay. So off the initial sip, the rye does come through a lot from the Kentucky Spirit. This gives a little bit of a softness on the back end and a little bit of fruitiness on the back end, but the rye spice hits you on the front of the palate. It's not bad. It's definitely different from these two individual. I think that if I give it a little bit more time to marry, maybe like a few days or something like that, it'd actually be really, really good. Yeah, it's not bad for the first attempt at a blending two different whiskeys together, two different bourbons together. On my normal scale of 50 points, let's go ahead and grade it on that. So looking at the color, I mean, it's a light amber color. Both of these aren't too terribly dark, so I'd probably give that a 4. The nose is very pleasant. I like the nose a lot. Probably give that a 6. So the palate, like I said, the rye spice hits you right up front, but then it goes into a softness and you get a little bit more of the fruit notes. I'd probably give that palate around a 5. As far as the finish is concerned, it's got a decent long finish. Probably give that finish probably a 6. Uniqueness, this one's pretty unique just because of the simple fact is you get the fruit flavors from the wheat, you get the softness from the wheat, but you also get the rye spice. And where the rye spice lands, usually the rye spice is going to hit you in the back of the palate and go into the finish. There is some of that there, but it's more of the wheat there on the back end and going into the finish, whereas the rye spice is up front. So I'd say that's pretty unique. I'm going to give that a 6 on the uniqueness. So we're looking at 27 points out of 50. Not bad. Like I said, I think it might need a little bit more time to marry the flavors together. They are kind of competing a little bit. Maybe it's just given more time, it would actually smooth out on the palate. But other than that, I think it's a decent blend. Go ahead and give it a shot. If you have these two bottles, I'll be posting, like I said, the full recipe on my Patreon page, so check that out. If you like the video, please give it a like, a follow, and a comment, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks.